Canadians should be furious. Under the Mark Carney government, 132 federally owned artworks have been unaccounted for, some since the 1980s. Officials admit they know the last locations, yet only 12 were even confirmed not recovered. No contracts, no accountability, just excuses and word salad. They downplay it as only $49,000, ignoring cultural value and public trust. Conservatives are right to demand answers, because this isn't transparency, it's failure. Now watch what happened next in this heated live exchange.
According to the audit, there are 132 pieces that, I'll quote, works not accounted for. According to you, they're not missing, they're not lost, but according to the audit, they're unaccounted for. Word salad, right? A refusal to refer to really what's going on here because you don't want to use certain words. But at the end of the day, there are 132 pieces that are unaccounted for according to the audit. Has any initiative been taken to recover those 132 pieces?
I think I've mentioned several times that our team is looking at the reconciliation of those particular records and documents, which is what led them to be able to confirm the location of 12 pieces and that 20 of those pieces are also reproductions. I mean, those are active efforts. The reason that we're not changing the designation is because the exercise is not completed.
Sorry, this is my time, and I'll just interrupt you there. Thank you. According to the audit, the last location of many of these pieces is known. So what work has been done by you and your team to make sure that those pieces then can be recovered?
So the team is dedicated exactly to looking at identifying the location of those pieces by reviewing whether or not these records are duplicated from previous records held along with those that were transitioned into the information system in 2010. They're looking at photographs, they're looking at all of the records and documentation to be able to trace back where those
according to the audit and according to your own admission here today, it's known where these pieces last were. It seems rather simple then to be able to just simply go back to that source, knock on the door, pick up the phone, send an email, take some sort of initiative to make sure that those pieces are recovered. Has any of that been done?
So yes, as I mentioned before, when there was an identification that the loan program needed to be suspended, there was an effort to repatriate all of the artwork. The artwork was initially stored in our original building location of 10 Wellington, and we've had a transition into the Goldenrod Vault facility. So that is also part of the reconciliation efforts, is just to ensure that we have a very robust inventory management system.
So again, Ms. Gideon, how many of those pieces then have been repatriated? Only 12?
Of the 132 that have been identified in terms of their location, it is 12, but there were many more artworks that were repatriated that were part of the former internal loan program. I don't have the exact number of the full set of artwork that actually came back into the National Capital Region and is stored in our vault.
Let's not muddy the facts here. Out of 132, even though you know the last location where many of those art pieces were, only 12 have been recovered.
12, the location has been confirmed. It doesn't mean that it's not a recovery issue.
Wow. So it gets worse. It's not even that they've been brought back in. It's actually just simply that they've been located.
They're in the vault, but the issue is where we've been able to confirm that those pieces are no longer unaccounted for.
Okay, so 132 pieces gone, unaccounted for. Of those, 12 have been found and brought back in. That still leaves another 120 that are unaccounted for.
So 20?
There's no question there. It's just a statement. Those are the facts that have been laid out here today. That's incredibly shameful. And then what I hear you saying, Ms. Gideon and Mr. Wright, is don't worry, Canadians. It's only worth $49,000. Never mind the cultural value. Never mind our pursuit of reconciliation as a nation. Never mind any of that. It's just $49,000 worth of art. You shrug your shoulders and you pretend that it doesn't matter in comparison to the other $14 million worth of pieces that you have in your care. Is that what you're expecting of Canadians? They should just turn a blind eye to this.
What we are expecting is for Canadians to understand that the history of the collection and how the collection was built and what its original intent was. And for Canadians to know that we have modernized and are investing in the preserving the integrity of this collection in 2025, according to the standards of 2025,
but
to
Ms. Gideon, I'll
avoid
just interrupt
any
you right there.
instances like this in the future.
There was a report done in 2013, another in 2017, another in 2019, and now in 2024. There's been ample time to correct this, Ms. Gideon. And no correction has been made. And today you've admitted that there are pieces that have been unaccounted for since the 1980s. And here we are in 2025, 40 plus years later, and those pieces are still not recovered, even though in many cases, according to the audit, the last location is known. That's despicable. I share my colleague's concern. I mean, at the end of the day, you still have these works of art, and they've just gone missing. And there was no contract, apparently you're saying, that was created with regard to where those pieces went and under whose care they were put. And now, you just kind of shrug your shoulders and go, well, it's only $49,000 worth. Don't worry, folks. Look, I wonder if you would be willing to table with the committee the works that are unaccounted for.
I don't know if, Rob, what your thoughts are. I mean, from my perspective, I think we are not able to, under the Access to Information Act, disclose the specifics with respect to the artwork and the artists. So I think that we would be able to share a list that would be quite generic, but we are not in a place where we would be able to share specifics with the committee.
Okay. Ms. Gideon, would you agree to go seek a legal opinion on that and return that legal opinion to this committee along with whatever you might be able to table in terms of that list of unaccounted works?
A legal opinion?
Yeah.
I have not sought legal advice with respect to this particular issue.
You're offering a legal opinion right now in terms of access to information. It's your opinion, and so I'm wondering if you're not able to provide this committee with a list of the unaccounted works, then the committee would request that you also supply us with a legal opinion.
I'm not offering a legal opinion. I am offering
Ms. Gideon.
an assessment by the Access to Information Act experts and team that we have about what our department can provide under the Act.
Will you agree to table with this committee a list of unaccounted works?
We've provided and are providing a response to an Access to Information Act request on this particular issue.
Ms. Gideon, you're not answering my question. Will you table with this committee a list of the unaccounted works?
I'm unable to table with this committee a list of unaccounted work that provides specifics with respect to the artists, anything that could disclose
why are you saying
the
to me that you are
proprietary
unable to
information of
provide
those
that?
artists.
And why are you saying to me that you are unable to provide that?
Because we've received advice from our Access to Information team about what can be provided publicly with respect to this information as a result of receiving a request.
So as a committee of parliament, we do have the right to ask for such information, and there are certain laws that do not hinder us. So if you do not provide that list to us, then we would ask for a legal opinion. Is that understood?
I understand what you're saying to me.
Excellent. And is that agreed to?
I'm not able to agree to that at this time. I do need to better understand what you're referring to in terms of the legal opinion and the legal basis. I am sharing with you that under the Access to Information Act, we are unable to provide that information. The list that is being asked
for today, then that would mean that there are legal grounds to deny us that. And so we would ask for that to be sent.
I appreciate that you've made a request to me. I do need time to be able to consider it and my response.
Okay, I'll allow the clerk to follow up on that. I don't think you understand how these requests work. The other thing that I would ask for you to table with this committee is the contract, a copy of the contract. If there was a past contract used for the loan program, we would ask for that. And my understanding, Mr. Wright, based on your testimony today, is that there is now a current loan program contract. And so we would ask for a copy of that contract as well. Again, if you refuse to provide this to the committee, then we would ask for your lawyer to send us a legal opinion with regards to why that information cannot be disclosed. The third thing that I would ask for you to table with this committee is which artists have works that have gone missing. And again, Ms. Gideon and Mr. Wright, if you are not able to table this information with this committee, as we are requesting you to do under parliamentary procedure, then we would ask that you provide a legal opinion as to why that information cannot be provided here today.
They can minimize the dollar value, dodge responsibility, and hide behind bureaucracy, but Canadians aren't blind. This isn't about $49,000. It's about trust, accountability, and respect for our national heritage. If a government can't even track its own assets, how can it be trusted to run a country? So the real question is, if this were your property, would unaccounted for be acceptable, or would you demand answers?